OTR today with three wrestling legends. I may have a tough time getting a word in edgewise. Roddy Piper.
Get set to sweat.
Mean Gene Okurlund.
Tell you one thing, Michael. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything today.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Remember one thing in life. A friend in need is a pest.
How good is this going to be?
With Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight.
The history of wrestling is fascinating. Today's show for me is like being able to interview the past, but also, I should add, the present and the future. And look who is here. Three guys who I have total respect for, not just for what you've done in the ring and around the ring, but for your ability to talk. Three of the most creative guys around. Mean Gene Okurlund, great to see you. Great to welcome back to the show.
Always great to be here. Matter of fact, I wanted to compliment you on the chair, Michael. This is a real upgrade. I enjoy it.
It's been a while.
See, the New York Port Authority had a garage sale.
Well, that is the voice of Bobby Heenan. It is great to see a guy who's been through some struggles, but healthy, and we're so happy that you're here. Good to see you, Bobby
Well,
Heenan.
thank you. I feel good. It's good to be here.
And a legend as well, Roddy Piper. A legend in particular in Canada, around the world. You're well known, but we love you because you're one of ours. Good to see you, my friend.
Sam, thank you for having me.
Okay, so wrestling's had massive ups and downs. It was huge in the late 80s and the late 90s. It's not as big right now. What does the WWE need to do to get back to the level they were, say, in 1999?
Well, I think, Michael, that it has been cyclical for years and for generations. Something I think we're doing right now, both in the United States and now just introducing it into Canada, is probably moving the demographic around. The name of the program is WWE 24/7.
Okay, so let me just interrupt here. And you just actually set a record for the earliest promotion on a show. that you actually, 27 seconds into the show, you came here to promote your product.
You're working with professionals here.
You are shameless.
And you can get my book at Amazon.com.
No, are you hucking anything?
Pardon me?
Are you selling anything?
Yes, my one-man show in Vegas.
I'm sorry, Gene, go ahead.
Yes.
No, I think what it does, instead of just appealing to that 18 to 34 male audience, along with some kids and teens, this is going to run the entire spectrum. When we can go back and take a look at subscription video on demand right here at your fingertips of Andre the Giant, of Hulk Hogan.
So you say beef up the present by selling the past.
Exactly. The market's matured. Where do you go next?
Do you
go to Europe?
Do you guys agree with that?
No, you know, Gene, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not sure that wrestling has taken this dip that you're saying. I think that the business...
He said that, not me.
Okay, I apologize, Mean Gene.
Thank you.
I don't think it's taken the dip. What's going on is they're going overseas and they're spreading themselves around. They have this channel, new channel 24/7, which is going to create a new platform, so you and your kid, when you watched it, you can see, I remember when Piper hit him with the coconut. I remember this. And I think that Vince McMahon and WWE have really done a great job of taking their company and uplifting it. These guys have got everything they need. I was on a tour where I was in Portland, Oregon, and one group was in Belfast and Scotland. They just literally are now worldwide, and they're doing it. And so maybe a little dip in the United States, I understand, in Canada, but I mean huge business overseas.
All those dates sold out well in advance of the tour.
You know,
and I think that in itself says something.
You're talking about, Bobby, they're talking about using the past, using the old tapes to sell the present. And clearly, your sport, your entertainment, your form of entertainment has a tremendous history. Do you think it relies too much, though, on the history? When a guy like Hulk Hogan, for instance, keeps coming back, does that get in the way of grooming new stars?
I don't know. I think the reason Hogan keeps coming back is because he's valuable. That's obviously what promotion's thinking. They are always grooming new stars. There's always somebody, there's people right now that are in their teens in school that are going to be major stars someday in football, basketball, baseball, and wrestling. We don't even know who they are yet. So they're always grooming something. But if I don't know if the business is down or up, because I don't check the demographics or ratings, but like Gene says, maybe bringing back nostalgia, some of these old guys and me, we can have some fun, and the people are going to really enjoy this, because it's wrestling from every different place in the world, people I never saw before, and I'm going to watch to see how I looked back in the 60s, so it's going to be interesting.
You know, there's another, devil's advocate, another way to look at that, too, is Hogan has done a great job, and they use him because you say he's valuable, and you were saying, well, does that hold them back from creating new stars? Well, those new stars have to have the talent, charisma, and athletic ability to overcome Hogan, or whoever it is on top. So I'm not sure that it's holding back.
But when he
anybody.
shows up, he gets the attention, right? He dominates,
But when we were all starting, somebody was dominating it, you know, and we had to fight our way up and overtake it. And I think that these young guys now, they're not quite aware of the fact that they've got to take it. In a world champion boxing match, if it's close, they give it to the champion. You got to take the belt away, and I think that's what the young guys are doing.
It's a lot different today than it was yesterday, because today, like we were talking at breakfast, a guy would say sometimes, how do you do interviews? I can't do interviews. I want a manager. You want to be a top man to make money, learn to talk.
Yeah.
Damn it, you can. It's that simple. Learn to speak. You shave, don't you? So be a German, be a cowboy, be an Indian, do your interview, learn to talk.
Yeah.
Just don't push it off on somebody else. And that's the truth. If you want to take over Hogan, prepare for it.
I think also, Michael, and you'll have to agree, because...
No, Gene, I don't have to agree.
You do have to
I don't
agree.
have to
Trust
agree.
me,
Yeah.
you do
Off
have
the record
to
with
Come on,
Michael
agree.
Landsberg, not Gene Okerlund. Sorry.
Okay, well,
not for today.
When I tell you what I'm about to say here, you will. The production values in the last 25 or 30 years in our business, as you know, have improved dramatically.
Yes, I do agree. You were right.
See what I said?
Yeah.
I remember in Pittsburgh, we used to do TV in Pittsburgh, they had 20 people in the studio, and the backdrop had faces drawn on them. Looks like there were 75 people there, and they would use an audio reel of a football game. So
in those days, you were creating the crowd, creating the excitement, and now the crowds come out, and it's just how to.
And there's more people, there's more stations. Don't forget, we had 3 stations in independent back in the 60s.
I'm loving you, Bobby Heenan. Great to see you, man. Great to see Roddy Piper.
Thanks.
Not quite as good to see Gene Okerlund.
Always good to see you, Michael.
I want to find out so much more, because we got 3 of the absolute classics here today on Stay with us.
Off the Record with Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, that's a holiday here in this country.
What good for you?
I told him not to touch that midget. You never touch a midget. You never know where they've been.
You know how tired I am of listening to Okurlund fool.
Oh, yeah, a lot of glad handers around here today. Keep your hands out of there, pal.
It's been a pleasure. What an idiot.
Oh, that is gold that no one is ever going to hear. Now, I remember when I started at TSN, people said that I had not paid my dues. Wrestling was all about paying your dues. Years in the minors, on the road, learning your craft. Now guys can go from an audition to TV in months. Is that a problem?
I don't think it's a problem. I think that when we started, we had to pay our dues because it was still 300 people in the garage. But with the guys that we've got now, this new generation, they pay their dues in a little different way. They have to get out there and they have to figure it out on their own. They don't have old-timers telling them what to do, and that's one of the problems in wrestling. So they're not paying their dues as far as driving 300 miles, wrestling 300 miles back, paying for your own gas, paying for your own hotel, not knowing what you're going to get paid. They're under contracts, so it's become more of a corporate thing. And I don't think that they're paying their dues the way we did.
You know, I remember in 1965, I was down in Tennessee, my first trip on the road. I was 20 years old. And there were guys on there who would ride 6 in a car, because they were making $2 or $3 a night. They'd buy a pot roast. They put it in aluminum foil on the manifold. They drive to the town. They pull over on the side. They take it out. It was cooked because they couldn't stop and eat. There was no money to be made. I went down there for 6 shots and made $40.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on top. But that was 1965. But guys paying their dues, yeah, I think
But guys get into the ring nowadays, right, without having the technical skills that you would have needed, for instance, to get into the ring, right? Because if you look the right way, if you sound a little bit the same way, you can go very quickly to
But you don't really need technical skills. You need
I love the way you're not letting Gene talk. Excellent. Good work.
I can sit there if you like.
Keep it up. Stay where you're
Just
at.
put your feet up on Gene.
I think, Michael, a lot of talent is getting pushed ahead of himself in our business today, simply because there's a bigger turnover and everything is faster, including storylines in our programming. And if you're a wrestling aficionado, you take a look at some guys, they make mistakes. Some things are not sold in a proper fashion, but after a few weeks, they learn, maybe the hard way, but they do learn.
We're sitting with two of the greatest villains in history, right? Guys who were really hated for a time in wrestling. Does wrestling need more black and white as opposed to shades of gray, which it has gone to?
I think so. Personally, I think so. I think you have to have you have to put your heart into it. If you're in it, myself, when I'm in the ring, my heart's into what I'm doing, and hopefully my adversary's heart is also, because that really makes us clash.
You know, when I had this cancer, before I had this, I was a 24-hour-a-day heel. I figured myself, if I shook hands with people and signed autographs, then they'd say, Bobby's a nice guy. He's not like that on TV. In the real life, that's all fake. So I had to be a jerk 24 hours a day. Now after I got sick, I get emails from people telling me, I wrote out 2 books, and I talk about my daughter and how advice she gave me. And people are writing me and thanking me for help and everything. My God, it just changed your whole life. It's nice to be liked. It's so much easier for someone to pat you in the back than kick you in the butt. It's only 12 inches, but it's a big trip. You know?
But it's not necessarily what's best for the wrestling world, right?
Pardon?
It's not necessarily what's best for wrestling from the standpoint that, like, you were massively popular because you were evil, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's just and Andre was so popular because he was so big.
Tell me, I got to hear from each one of you, a great moment, an example of you seeing this man evil in the ring and how it affected the crowd. Give me one memory of Bobby Heenan.
If you get electrocuted, it's just bad luck. Bobby Heenan, I think, had the uncanny ability to antagonize people in the crowd, and most of it was done verbally. However, there was one match that you had with Blackjack Lanza where the promoter actually said, I don't want you to do that anymore, Bobby, because it's in